Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me. And the other day when I showed that we had in the new We Are Memory Keepers tab punches, I had quite a few people that asked me would I do a little bit of a demo on it or review. So we will do that today. First impression, it looks very simple. So we'll see how simple it is. My only concern with this punch, and that's my personal concern, is this little piece right here that comes out. I'm afraid I'll probably lose that. I may not, who knows, but if I lose that, I could probably always find something to stick in these holes, but we'll see. Okay, I think overall, this is probably one of the easiest punches to learn. I've only played with it 2 times this morning, and both times got a perfect impression, so we'll see. Alright, this right here is your tab punch. This is your cutter. It has a cutter on it as well. Now you need to always make sure that you have this little knife back in its cradle, because it does have a very, very sharp little knife on there. It has this little tab thing right here that slides in this little slot. So just make sure that you always have that back in its cradle to keep your knife protected, plus keep yourself and your children protected. So let's do a punch. Alright, now if you have no clue what size paper you want to punch, then you can just start punching wherever you want to. But it has right here on this, it has sizes. It starts out with 4-inch, 5, 6, 7, and it goes all the way down to 12-inch. So this is your paper sizes. I'll explain a little bit more about that in a minute. And then over here on this side, it has small, medium, and large tabs. So you can make tabs different sizes that you want to. Alright. This is an 8-inch piece of paper. So I want to make a tab on this side and then one in the center. So what we're going to do first is you take this little thing out, and if you'll notice, it has a little bit extra space on this side and not so much on this side. This is the side that you put up next to that. So right in there, and you put it in the outside holes, not the inside. I'll tell you what those are for in a minute. So put them on the outside holes like that. Then you want to take this, slide it in there, and punch. So there is your first part of the punch. Then you can take this out, put it back up. Now what you want to do is you want to flip this over, and you want to decide whether you want a small, medium, or large tab. And I think I'll do a medium tab. So you slide it up to the medium little line right there, and then you just punch. So there is that part. And now all you do is you put it over here on this side. Take your little knife out. Put this little thing right in that little groove there. Start at that little insert where it cut it for you, and there you go. Slices that off. So there's your first tab right there. Now remember, take that and slide it back in so that you don't get anything damaged. So there you go. Now the only thing that I would have done differently had I been We Are Memory Keepers and making this, is I would have made it longer. So in case I had a 12-inch piece of paper, I'm going to have to put this in here to cut, and then slide it down and then cut until I get all the paper cut off. But that's no big deal. If you have one that big, you can just put it in your trimmer and trim it off. So it's not a big deal. So there's your first tab right there, and I think that's really cute. Now this is the same size. Let's see if it's the same size. Yes. This is the same length paper, so it is an 8-inch, and we want to make the center tab. So what I want to do is I want to put this on the center, on the 8-inch, and I want to put it on medium. So let me show you that up close. Alright, right there is my 8-inch, and there it says medium right there. Okay, So what I'm doing is I'm sliding this paper in here at the 8" and at medium, and I'm going to punch it. Okay, so there's my first one. I'm going to flip it over, put this side in at 8" and at the medium, and punch it again. So there's my center tab. Just need to put it over on this side. Now, instead of cutting this with this little cutter, you could always put it in your trimmer and cut it. But see, you do have to move it back and forth, which is not a big deal, but you know. Alright, so there is my center tab. Okay, now we're going to put one on this side. So here again, we're going to take this little piece and put it in here. We're going to slide that in there and punch it. And we're going to let's make a large one this time. So there's my tab on this side. Now I wanted it on here, on this side of the paper. If you had wanted it on this side of the paper, then you would need to start by flipping it over and doing it on the opposite side. Okay, so there's our tab on that side. So we have one on the left side, one in the middle, and one over there. And they're, you know, I've made them different sizes. I'm just kind of showing you the gist of it. Now, when you're deciding what length or height you need your paper, let's say you was making these for inserts into your planner. When you're deciding what height you need that, make sure that you add 3/4 inch onto that, because this tab from down here up here is 3/4 inch. So if you need 6 inches to cover in your planner, then you're going to cut your paper at 6 3/4, because once you punch your tab out, then that's going to take 3/4 inch off of that. Okay, so here is my planner. And if I want, let's just flip it over here. If I wanted my tab to stick out all the way, then I would, let me get that blue thing out of the way. Okay, if I wanted my tab to stick out all the way, then that is the way I would do it. I would measure from where I put it in my ring out, so that's 5 3/4, and then I would add 3/4 onto it, and that would be how far my tab would stick out. If I wanted it to stick out just that much, which I like that part, then that is just a 1/2 inch from there to there. So then I would just add a 1/2 inch on. You see? I hope that makes sense. So let's try one. Let's see. Let's pretend that I can put pages in here, which I can't. But let's pretend that I can. And let's say this is 6 inches. So if I want 6 inches and I only want that 1/2 inch to stick out there, let me cut a piece of paper. Okay, so I cut a piece of paper that is 6 1/2 inches. So let's just say I want a left-hand tab on that. So we're going to punch that, put that back in there, flip it over, and I'm going to do the small because I like the small better. Punch that, put it over here, take my little knife out, slice that off, and let's see if it fits. So if I was able to put it in there, exactly, it would fit perfectly. Look at that. Just exactly like I would want. And if it went all the way in there, then this little part of the tab would be all that stuck out, which I like that part. Okay, I'm going to show you one more thing, and then I think that is all that we'll have for today, until I figure out more things to do with this. If you want your tab to be closed at the top, like this, see how it's closed at the top? So if you wanted to, you could, let's say, trim that off, like that. You have your closed tab at the top. And then if you wanted to slide it on a sheet or something and glue it down, you could do that with it. If you wanted your tab to be like that, which is very important, I like that, So let me show you how to do that. Just fold your paper where you want it folded, whatever cardstock, whatever you're making. And I have decided that I'm not pulling that thing in and out each time that I'm going to use this, just simply because, like I said, I will end up losing it. But if you look, there is little lines right here. This little line is for if you want to start the tab, and then this one is to round the corners. So I'm just going to slide my paper in there. Now this is me. I like shortcuts. If it's not for you, then don't worry about it. Put that in there. I'm going to slide it in there to that line and make sure it's all the way up and punch. So there's that one. Flip it over, and then I'm going to do a small one, I think. Put it on that small. Takes a little bit more muscle to press it, but not a big deal. And then all you need to do is just trim it off to the size that you want. I want it trimmed off right there. You could use the trimmer on there, of course. And there you have your little open tab, just like you would like it. So let's do that again, because I know I'm going to have a lot of people that says, I don't understand, didn't understand what you did. Okay, I just took a piece of paper. If you don't want to have to do a lot of cutting, then make sure that your piece of paper is the width of the tab that you want. So if you want a tab that's this wide, then what you need to cut is a piece of paper that is 1 3/4 inches wide. Let's see how wide this one is. Alright, let's cut this one down to 1 3/4. One and 3/4. Okay, and then the length doesn't matter because you can always trim that off. Then just fold it in the middle. I put a little crease in there. And then put the folded end, not the other end, but the folded end up in your tab punch. Press it down, so it's going to cut that side off. Flip it over. If you want a small one, which is what I measured for, then put it on the small line right there. Press it, and there is your tab. Now if we want to trim that off, which we do, and you want to use this trimmer, then you can put it over here and trim it off. Let's put it in right there and trim it off. And there we have a perfect little tab, just like this one. So there are your tabs. Quick and easy. I like that. I really like that. I like being able to make these type tabs out of it, don't you? Yeah. You want to do it one more time? Let's do it one more time. Let's see. Let's use this one. This looks good. Here's a piece of paper. Alright, I'm going to make sure my fold is straight. The last one wasn't too straight. Okay, I'm going to put it in there, and let's just use this for you know, because some people may want to use it. Slide it all the way up against that, punch it, take that out, put it over there. This time we'll make a medium one since this one's cut a little bit larger. So slide it all the way over here. Whoops, I don't think we'll have enough room to make a medium one. No, we'll make a small one. Okay. Slide it to the small. Make sure it's all the way up. Press it. And you're going through 2 thicknesses of paper, so of course you're going to have to press a little bit harder. Put it in here. Get that off. And then, of course, you're just going to need to trim it up like you want. Since I didn't measure my paper, I just cut it off. But there's your tab again. There's your open tab and your closed. And if you didn't want this much of a lip at the bottom, you could trim it off some more to make it like this one. You can make a cute little frame with this. I'll show you how. Just cut your frame the size that you want. This is just an odd piece of paper. Put this in there so that you get the sides the same every time. Click it, flip it around. And there is you a perfect frame or journaling card, whatever that you would want. Isn't that cute? Okay guys, that's it. This is a worthwhile tool, I do believe. It is very compact, very lightweight. You could throw it in your bag and take it anywhere that you wanted to. This locks in so it doesn't fall out. And then this thing locks down in there, so you're good to go. We do have these in stock in the shop. The link I will put below. And we'll talk to you guys later. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Bye-bye.